ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So I would like to welcome every one of you who have joined this reading session. So presently we are starting with the Nectar of Instruction book. Okay, the Upadesamrita. Original name is Upadesamrita, and Srila Prabhupada has translated it as the Nectar of Instruction. So Upadesha means instruction, and Amrita means nectarian. So this is the nectar of instruction. Now you will notice whatever is connected with the Supreme Lord, every time the attributes, whatever attributes are there, we join them with Amrita. For example, Upadesha, then that is Amrita. Srila Rupa Goswami has added Amrita because that Upadesha is about the Lord. That's why Rupa Goswami has connected with Amrita. And then we drink Charnamrita, the Amrita, or the thing which comes after washing the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that we drink. So that is Charnamrita. Again Amrita. So why again and again Amrita is added? Because whatever is connected to the Supreme Lord, that becomes Amrita. Now, what is the meaning of Amrita? Mrita means dying. Okay, Mrita means death or the process of dying. And Amrita means that which stops the process of dying. So anything, it might be anything, it might be the Charanamrita, the water which is offered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, that becomes Amrita. And when we drink that Charanamrita, we become immortal, in a sense that we get out of this material entanglement and we never come back to this material. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mamiti sojam. So he's telling, oh Arjuna, one who discusses about my birth and activities, he will after leaving this material body, he will directly come to my abode, and he will never come back to this material world. So that's why anything which is offered to the Lord, that becomes Amrita. Similarly, Upadesha, that Upadesha is pertaining to the Lord. That Upadesha is about the Lord. That's why it is Amrita. So when we hear the Upadesha through our ears, we become Amrita-like. The cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease stops. So when we leave this material body, we will never come back to this material world. So that's why anything which is connected to the Lord, that becomes Amrita. That is a speciality of whatever is being offered to the Lord. But if we hear some material, mundane topics, will we become like Amrita? Will we become Amrita? No, we will not become Amrita. So that's why when we hear the topics of Supreme Lord, we become like Amrita. So when we drink Amrita, we become immortal. We don't have to come again to this material world. So Srila Rupa Goswami, that's why he has coined this word, Upadesamrita. And because Srila Prabhupada has translated it as the nectar of instruction. Okay. So in the previous class, the class was last Saturday. I gave a bit of introduction about who is Caitanya Mahaprabhu and who is Srila Rupa Goswami. So the Goswamis are the direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave orders to the Goswamis, primarily Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, that write books on bhakti, write scriptures on bhakti so that the general populace can be benefited. And therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami has rendered this book, the nectar of instruction, Upadesham. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he didn't he gave instructions to Goswamis and other devotees, but we don't find like he has written so many books apart from only Sikshashtakam he has written. So Sikshashtakam he himself wrote actually. That's the only work available of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu which is in written form. So, but the Goswamis, they wrote so many books on bhakti scriptures, so many books on bhakti, on the devotional process, and the Upadeshamrita is one among them. Okay. Yes. So, 1 second. Yeah. So we will get into the preface of the Nectar of Instruction. Now, I have sent the PDF file in the WhatsApp group. You can check it out. You can see and then you can follow. Okay. So we'll start reading first of all the preface of the Nectar of Instruction. Now, in the Nectar of Instruction, Srila Prabhupada didn't write any introduction in a way that there is no different heading or there is no different paragraph which is dedicated like for introduction. There is only preface, and then the Srila Prabhupada starts with the the commentaries of the verses, but there is no introduction. So in NOI, in the Nectar of Instruction, the preface of NOI contains both preface and introduction to the book. What does it introduce? It introduces the content of text 1. Okay, it introduces the content of text 1, that is, that we must control the senses. So, in the preface itself of NOI, the preface and introduction both are included. I will tell you from where the introduction part starts in the preface. Okay. Yes. Now, the very first sentence, if you see, 1 second. Is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. Now, through this sentence, Srila Prabhupada is indicating that this movement, this ISKCON movement, is not new. It's not that Prabhupada introduced something new. No. This movement was started 500 years ago. Already, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be the father of the congregation chanting of the holy name. So that's why Srila Prabhupada did not introduce something new. That's the speciality of an Acharya. Acharya will not introduce something new. He will follow his predecessor Acharyas. So this Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami, when we now, like for example, in beginning I chanted the verse, Sri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. So Sri Caitanya Manobhishtam. What is the speciality of Srila Rupa Goswami? Why Srila Rupa Goswami is considered the leader of all the Goswamis? Because Srila Rupa Goswami, he understood the mind or the intention of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Abhishtam, Manobhishtam. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. Rupa Goswami understood the mind or the intention or the purpose of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came into this material world. He understood that. And Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Then what is the next? What is next? Kant Krishna Prabhu? Yes, Sumati Mataji.
Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati
Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadanti. So we are praying to Srila Rupa Goswami that Rupa Goswami, he himself has understood the intention or the purpose of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent to this material world. And that's why we take shelter of Srila Rupa Goswami, that Rupa Goswami, please, we cannot understand the intention of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he wants us to do. But, O Rupa Goswami, please deliver, please bestow your mercy upon us so that we may understand the intention of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and we may become the part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's army. So that's what we are every time. After praying to the spiritual master, Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. After offering our prayers to our spiritual master, we immediately offer prayers to Srila Rupa Goswami. Because the Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. And without the mercy of Rupa Goswami, we cannot understand the intention of Sri Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only introduced the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be the Patita Pavana. What is Patita Pavana? Patit Pavan means the deliverer of the fallen. He delivered the most sinful people like Jagai and Madhan. He is so merciful. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yugala form, is the combined form of Sri Krishna and Sri Radha. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered the most precious thing of Golok Vrindavan to the most obnoxious people of this material world. Golokera Premadhana Hari Nama Sankirtana Tara Sakshi Jagai Madhai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the highest benediction or the highest treasure in the Golok Vrindavan to the lowest the lowest people of mankind. So who can be more merciful than Chaitanya? That's why he is considered to be the Mahavadanyaya. Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful incarnation of Krishna. Okay. So that's why so Srila Prabhupada is telling that this movement is not new. The Acharya does not introduce something new. Whatever is coming in the parampara, whatever is coming through the predecessor Acharyas, that only he repeats. And that's why he's telling that Prabhupada is telling that I am not introducing something new. This movement is so old. And it is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. Because Rupa Goswami, he understood the intention of Sri Chaitanya. And he executed that. Rupa Goswami wrote hundreds of books, more than hundreds of books on bhakti. and he excavated so many temples in Vrindavan. So, yeah. And the second point through this sentence, we can understand why Srila Prabhupada is starting the preface with this sentence. The Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. So what is the intention? What is the second point? Prabhupada is extremely humble here, giving all credit of movement to Rupa Goswami. Now in the material you see, if any company is being organized, if any company has been started, everyone is trying to, okay, I am the CEO of this company. I am the master of this company. Everyone is after fame. Yes. And you see, ISKCON is really, in a sense, so for a materialist, ISKCON is considered to be like a big company. Yes. For a materialist, it may seem to be like that. So much money and so much, so many temples are there, and the temples, they cost so many millions of rupees. So according to some businessman, he can maybe take some ideas from Prabhupada's preaching movement. That Prabhupada was very big businessman. So, but Prabhupada, the specialty of Prabhupada is what? Prabhupada is not at all taking any fame. Even though Prabhupada is Sansthapak Acharya or the founder Acharya of ISKCON, is not at all taking the fame that I introduce ISKCON. Everyone bow down to me. No. Everything, whatever he started ISKCON with so much endeavor, everything is giving to Srila Rupa Goswami. All the credit of the movement. Whatever preaching he has done, 108 temples he has established, and thousands, lakhs, crores of devotees he has introduced. So those all credit he is giving to Sri Rupa Goswami. That is the difference between a pure devotee and a materialist who is after fame. The pure devotees, they are never after fame. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. Yes. So in Sikshastra it is stated that the pure devotee does not want any fame. He is not at all after fame. But Sri Krishna, he gives fame to his devotees. Krishna gives fame to his devotees. Now you see, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was capable to write so many books. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself would have written so many books. Why he ordered Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and other Goswamis to write books on Bhakti scriptures? He himself does not know about devotional philosophy. He is Lord himself, he can write so many books, but he gave opportunity to Goswamis. What is the intention? Because Lord wants his devotees to be glorified. Lord wants his devotees to be glorified. Lord wants to give credit to his devotees. So that is the, the Anyonya Sambandha. Devotee thinks whatever I have done, that is completely because of the Lord. Lord is after giving credit to the devotees. So this is the beautiful reciprocation between the devotee and the Lord. So here, this is very important actually. So Prabhupada is extremely humble here and giving all credit of movement to Rupa Goswami. Okay. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada, as you know, before he went to America for preaching, so he wrote the very first 2 cantos in Radha Damodar temple in front of Samadhi of Srila Rupa Goswami. Where this is? This is in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada was sitting in Radha Damodar temple and he was writing the purports of first and second cantos of Bhagavatam in front of Samadhi of Sri Rupa Goswami. So where Prabhupada used to sit and used to write books, he used to directly see from the window the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami. And he would daily get mercy of Rupa Goswami. So there was one friend of Prabhupada. His name is Gopal Ghosh. You see here. So Gopal Ghosh is recalling one anecdote with him. So once I met Gopal Ghosh is saying, once I met with Prabhupada and he was sitting on a small mat and he would often lean back against the wall. He told me, so Prabhupada told Gopal Ghosh, Gopal, listen to me. At night, many times I sit in front of Rupa Samadhi and chant Harinam Sankirtan and burn an incense stick. I pray to Rupa Goswami every day that if you are truth and this place is truth, then please show me your face and your grace so that I can feel your grace. Then Prabhupada is continuing to Gopal Ghosh. I feel that Rupa Goswami's immortal grace is flowing, but the general mass of people cannot receive it. They just bow their heads there every day. Yes, but I am feeling that Rupa Goswami is here and is hearing everything. You see, Prabhupada is feeling the presence that Rupa Goswami is here in his hand. Prabhupada is feeling the presence of Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami, see the sentence. Prabhupada is telling to Gopal Ghosh, and Rupa Goswami told me in a dream that great work will be done by you, O Prabhupada. And also, he also said you should always chant Caitanya Charitamrita and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and that I will be right behind you. Rupa Goswami, he himself came in the dream of Prabhupada and he told that always chant Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is also the rendition of Srila Rupa Goswami. And that I will be right behind you. You see? So with that enthusiasm, with that mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada wrote the purports of Bhagavatam, the very first two cantos. And in this way, Prabhupada was able to preach this cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this cult of holy name to everyone. Why? Because he had the mercy of pure devotee. He had the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada did a miraculous work no one can do. He established 108 temples in 11 years. No mortal man can do that, can do such an achievement. So, yes. So that's why Prabhupada did a miraculous work. And this was possible because of the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami. Okay. So that's why, yeah. So the point here is that whatever he was writing purports of Bhagavatam in Radha Damodar temple, it was due to the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami. And that's why whatever credit he has got is giving to Rupa Goswami. You see, whatever credit he's getting, Prabhupada is getting, Prabhupada, you are so great. Prabhupada, no, I am not great. This is whatever good you are seeing in me, everything is because Rupa Goswami, to the mercy of Rupa Goswami. That should be our attitude. If anything, any good is seen in us by some other devotee, we should think that, Prabhuji, it's not because of me. I am very fallen. But because the mercy of my spiritual master, some good qualities you can see. But everything is because of my mercy of my master. Otherwise, it would not have been possible. Prabhupada na hoito tabe ki hoito. So if that Prabhupada would not be there, then what would have happened? We would be birth, that old age and disease. In the cycle of birth and old age and disease, we would be just wandering. And in 84 lakhs of species, in this, we would be taking birth again and again. So because of the mercy of Sri Prabhupada, we got introduction about this Hare Krishna movement. Yes. And we are able to chant holy name. That is all due to the mercy of Sri Prabhupada. So pure devotees are so merciful that they are sacrificing, they are doing so much tapasya for the welfare of all human beings. They perform so much tapasya. Rupa Goswami underwent so much tapasya to write hundreds of books on bhakti for the welfare of mankind. Yes. Now you can see this famous photo. So Srila Prabhupada used to sit, and through the window he used to see the samadhi of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. Yes. Okay, we'll proceed. Yes. So Prabhupada is writing next. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Sri Narottam Das Thakur has sung. So, who are the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Primarily 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they are the primary, the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti, Kabe Hama Bujabo Se Jugala Priti. When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. When Narottam Das Thakur is saying that when I am eager to understand, when we are eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then only we will be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs between Radha and Krishna. That is our goal. Yes, that is our goal. So without the literature given by the Goswamis, we can never understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. We may try for millions of years and we read so many books, but if we don't understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then we can never, and we don't have mercy of Rupa Goswami or Goswamis, then we cannot understand the loving affairs between Radha and Krishna. We can never get Krishna Prem. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the signs of Krishna. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came for what? He appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the signs of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wherever he went, he distributed or he explained the signs of Krishna. Lord Krishna, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained, there's a famous verse, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yajnai Sankirtana Prayait Yajanti Sumedasa. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prophecy is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. What it is written in Srimad Bhagavatam? Vyasdev is writing, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be Krishna Varnam. Krishna Varnam means what? Krishna means black, Varnam means color. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's color was black? No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's color was like of Radharani, golden complexion. So now here in this verse, it is Sorry for the interruption. Yes. So, one second. Yes. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. Yes. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. So all the activities, among all the activities of Lord Krishna, the pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis are the highest. They are considered to be the highest. So now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. So therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis, that they are Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva, Gopal Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunath. These are the six Goswamis. So one who wants to understand the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's our goal. Yes, that's our goal. Our goal is what? To understand the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and contribute in the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is our life and soul. That should be our mission. And in order to understand the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we cannot understand the mission without following in the footsteps of the six Goswamis. Now, once again, you see here. Yes. So, what is the goal of studying NOI? Or what is the goal of studying Upadesamrita? Our goal of studying Upadesamrita is that we want to study so we can become pure Vaishnavas. Yes, that's the goal. We want to become pure Vaishnavas. Yes. And we want to study so that we can become pure Vaishnavas and help Mahaprabhu in teaching world the science of Krishna. So, Kara Para Upakar. We have to first of all understand the science of Krishna, and then we have to teach. We have to do the Paropkar. We have to explain the science of Krishna to others. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be very happy with our service. So that is the goal of studying Upadesamrita. Because through the mercy of the Goswamis only, we can understand the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to achieve this goal, what is the means? The means is one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis and disciplic succession by controlling mind and senses as is instructed in Upadeshamrita. So one has to, in order to achieve this goal, to become pure Vaishnavas and to try to contribute in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the only means is that we have to follow in the footsteps of six Goswamis. That's the only way. That's the only means. Now, one very logical point to be one should understand. We want to understand the science of Krishna because we want to become pure Vaishnavas, we want to become pure devotees. Then we want to understand the science of Krishna. We want to understand the science of Krishna. How we will understand? We will understand only when we look at the lives of greatest devotees. When we look the life of pure devotees, when we see his lifestyle, and when we apply his instructions, when we apply or when we understand the message he has given in his books, then only we can understand the science of Krishna. Without the mercy of pure devotee, no one can understand the science of Krishna. No one can understand the science of Krishna. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasada leshanugrihita evahi Janati Tatvan Bhagavan Mahimno Na Chanyam Ekopi Chiran Vichambar. So it is explained that in order to understand the Bhagavat Tattva, in order to understand the Bhagavat Tattva or the philosophical conclusions about the existence of Lord Krishna, we cannot understand without the mercy of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna's mercy will be achieved through what? Through the when we follow in the footsteps of previous acharyas or 6 Goswamis. Through that means only we can get the mercy of Lord Krishna. One cannot understand Krishna if he doesn't have the mercy of Lord Krishna, then he cannot understand. Even if we strive to understand, or if we read so many books for thousands of years, for millions of years, Chiran Vichinvan, for millions of years, he is trying to understand, or so much striving. What is and is doing so much philosophical speculations. He will not understand if there is no mercy of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna's mercy will be achieved only when we study the scriptures given by Goswamis or previous acharyas. So we know the signs of Krishna by looking at the lives of great devotees. Now, who are these greatest devotees? Who are the greatest devotees? The gopis. Gopis are the best devotees. No one can compare them, compare their devotion. The gopis and manjaris. Who are manjaris? Manjaris are the maid servants of gopis. Okay, manjaris means what? Manjaris they are the maid servants. They are helpers of gopis, because gopis are engaged in the service of Lord Krishna. Manjaris are like assistants in serving the Lord. So Goswamis are what? Goswamis are manjaris. So they know signs of Krishna. Who can be greater person, or who can be greater preceptor, who can teach us about the signs of Krishna other than Goswamis? Goswamis are manjaris. They are the assistants of gopis. They know the signs of Krishna. That's why they are the greatest devotees, and they are the best person. They are the best people, preceptors, to teach us the signs of Krishna. Okay, so that's why we are so fortunate that Rup Goswami has mercifully, he has explained, because Rup Goswami is what? Rup Goswami is Rupa Manjari. He is assistant. He is maid servant of the gopis in Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan. So yeah, so that's why mercifully Rup Goswami has rendered this book Upadesamrita, and he has given the instructions about how we can attain Krishna, how we can attain Krishna Prema. Prabhupada told once, you cannot become a pure devotee by your own effort. You can become a pure devotee only when you are guided by another pure devotee. That is Guru. You cannot become pure devotee. Okay, Prabhuji, now I am chanting, I am reading, I am doing all the Navavidha Bhakti process. Now I will become pure devotee eventually. No, Baba. You cannot become pure devotee like that with your own efforts. If there is no intervention of Guru in your life, then you can try for so many years, but you will stay at that moment only. You will stay at that place only. You cannot advance. So one can become pure devotee only when you are guided by another pure devotee, under the guidance of the spiritual master. That's why Guru's place is very important in our devotion. Without the mercy of Guru, we cannot advance in spirituality. Lord Krishna will be happy. We cannot attain Krishna without Guru. We cannot surpass Krishna. We cannot surpass Guru. Okay. So next is what? Prabhupada is writing, Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis. You see, Rupa Goswami was the leader actually. He was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us this Upadesamrita. to guide our activities. Now we are in this Krishna consciousness movement. Okay. Now, how we have to attain Krishna, how our activity should be guided. Rupa Goswami has written in Upadesamrita. What are the favorable things we have to do in bhakti, and what are the unfavorable things in bhakti which we should avoid, and other instructions. So that is given in Upadesamrita. Okay, what are the favorable things and what are the unfavorable things? What is the process of surrender? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati vishvaso goptritve vardanam tatha atmanikshepa karpanye vidha sharanagati. So 6 things are there in surrender. What? First of all, anukulyasya sankalpa. We have to accept the favorable things in bhakti, and we have to reject the unfavorable things in bhakti. These are the 2 processes of surrender, and rest of them also Rupa Goswami has explained in successive verses. Okay. So as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Sikshashtakam, Rupa Goswami gave us Upadesamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. Okay. Yes. So now, and we covered until this, gave us Upadesamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. Now preface is ended. From now onwards, Prabhupada starts introduction of the first verse. From the in all spiritual affairs, from this sentence, Prabhupada starts introduction to the why. Prabhupada writes, in all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of Sattva-guna by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. And then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. So that's why in spiritual affairs, in bhakti process, the very first duty is what? That we have to control our mind and senses. If our senses, our mind and senses are not controlled, then we cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Prabhupada writes, we cannot make any advancement, not even little. If our mind and senses are not controlled, then our spiritual life is doomed. That's why the very first step in advancing in spiritual life is what? We have to control our mind and senses. Because everyone in this matter is engrossed in passion and ignorance. And the duty of the practitioner in a spiritual life is that one has to, first of all, promote himself to the platform of goodness, first of all. Sattva-guna. Then, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. And then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Okay, first of all, one has to come to the Sattva-guna. Then gradually, how to make further progress, that will be revealed. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, you see, Tesham satadayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti. Even Lord also states that a person, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Lord gives the intelligence. Okay, Lord gives the intelligence. How do we have to come to Lord Krishna? So a very good example is given in this connection. For example, there is a plane. There's an airplane. So in order the plane to fly, okay, above, it has to run in the runway. First of all, the plane, if it wants to fly, then it has to run in the runway. So now consider runway is like the mode of goodness. You consider runway as the mode of goodness. Okay. So now we have to use this body to launch to Goloka. Okay. We have to use this body to launch to Goloka. So that's why this mode of goodness has to be cultivated. So this runway where the plane runs to launch, okay, in the air, the runway is like the goodness. So that's why it's a duty of a person to be situated in the mode of goodness. And when the plane is already flying, our flight is already above the ground, then slowly our activities will be guided by our Guru, and gradually we can reach to Golok Vrindavan. So now what we are doing? We are running on the runway of our spiritual life. So that's a spiritual plane. And through this spiritual plane, if we are there, and when we get the perfect speed, okay, when we are qualified, we immediately launch our plane above, and then eventually by the mercy of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we'll reach Golok Vrindavan. Okay. So that's why Prabhupada is telling that in order to advance in spiritual life, the very first process is that we have to control our mind and senses. And then further, then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Okay. Advancement in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada writes, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Very important sentence, very important. Prabhupada writes that advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Now here, what is the meaning of attitude? Attitude means what I am doing through senses, how I am acting. Is that what you mean through attitude? No. A person may tell, Prabhuji, love is beyond these four regulative principles. Love of Krishna is beyond these four regulative principles. So I am very advanced. I am mad in love of Krishna, and that's why I don't need to follow meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. These four regulative principles, I don't need to follow. I can break these four regulative principles and then still love Krishna. I can still drink marijuana and and I can break all these four regulative principles because love is beyond four regulative principles. No, that's the wrong conception. How can you express your love? How can you express your love if you are breaking the laws, if you are breaking the regulative principles which Krishna doesn't like? Yes. So love is expressed through service. The love is expressed through service. Now, son tells to father, father tells to son, oh son, I love you very much. Son tells, please purchase this toy. Father tells, no, but I will not purchase this toy, but still, I love you so much. What is the use of this mere love, this useless love? You are telling that I love you so much, but when child is telling, please give me this thing, this toy, and you're telling no, then how you are going to express your love? This love is useless. So that's why we have to express our love through service. That's why whatever process we are following, we are serving Guru. We are serving Krishna. In this way only, our love to Krishna is expressed. Prabhuji, I love Krishna so much. Oh Krishna, I love you so much. Krishna is telling, do this, follow this regular treatments. No, Krishna, I love you so much, but you are telling we have to follow regular treatments, but that is not possible. Will Lord Krishna be? Do you really love Krishna like that? This love is useless actually. So that's why love is expressed to service. Whatever he likes, we have to follow. Whatever the child wants, you have to give. That's the service. If Krishna is demanding service, you have to give. Then through that service only, the love is expressed through Krishna. Okay. So now here, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Now here, attitude means what? Attitude means not that something is different what you are doing and something you are thinking that's different. No. Attitude is there on the level of buddhi. Attitude is on the level of buddhi or the intelligence. What is your attitude? What is your intention of doing bhakti? Is your intention of doing bhakti is like business type? Oh Krishna, please give me, I will give you 100 rupees. Please, may I pass an exam? Is this your attitude? Then if you tell, oh Krishna, I will every day, I will offer this much fruits, this much, I will every month, I will offer some donation. Krishna, please do me this favor. This is business, no? This type of attitude will not help in advancement of Krishna consciousness. In order to advance in Krishna consciousness, we have to selflessly serve Krishna. We have to serve Krishna without any motivation or without any expectation of result. We don't have to demand any material desires from Krishna. It should be unmotivated. So a follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Prabhupada is writing, follower of Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavan, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot become a Goswami. If your senses and mind are not controlled, then you cannot be called Goswami. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they controlled their senses and mind. They controlled. They curbed mind and senses. They had full control. And that's why Prabhupada is writing that everyone, all the followers of the Krishna consciousness movement, everyone should become perfect Goswami. Okay. Go means the senses and Swami means the master. So one has to master the senses. Unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. That's the very preliminary process. So one has to control his senses and mind. Then only he can be called a Goswami. Srila Prabhupada was Goswami. Srila Prabhupada was Goswami. He was the master of senses. He was the perfect devotee of Krishna. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadesamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. So, in order to achieve the highest success in life, one must follow the instructions known as Upadesamrita, which is being given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books, such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhav, and Lalita Madhava. But Upadesamrita constitutes the very first instructions for neophyte devotees. One should follow these instructions very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada writes that Rupa Goswami has written so many other books actually. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav, these all books actually discusses about the rasa tattva of Lord Krishna's and Radha's conjugal pastimes. The rasa tattva. It talks about the rasa tattva or the rasa, and that's why Rupa Goswami is called Bhakti Rasacharya. That title he was given actually. In his time, Rupa Goswami was given this title, Bhakti Rasacharya, because Rupa Goswami wrote so many books on rasa tattva, on the mellows of conjugal love. You see, Vidagdha Madhav, he has written very nice pastimes of Lord Krishna and Radha. And Lalita Madhav, so many dramas he has written. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is full about the different mellows of conjugal love and other rasas. But Prabhupada is writing one who is neophyte and who is new to Krishna consciousness, okay, he should follow the instructions of Upadesamrita. He should not jump to Vidagdha Madhav book or Lalita Madhav book and try to, get into this interaction between Radha and Krishna and other conjugal pastimes. No. First of all, follow the instructions of Upadesamrita, become Goswami, become pure devotee, then read Vidagdha Madhav Lalita. So Upadesamrita will give you preliminary instructions, and by following the instructions of Upadesamrita, you will become Goswami. First of all, curb your senses. First of all, control your mind. Then only you can read Vidagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav, and other books. So these are the very first instructions for neophyte devotees. According to some survey in London, some research was done. According to some survey, in London, the nectar of instructions, the book, was sold. So many books were sold, actually. So many copies were sold. And through that survey, it was actually, the report came that through the book Nectar of Instruction, so many people were introduced to Krishna consciousness. Through the book of Upadesamrita, so many people were introduced to Krishna consciousness. This is the power of the book. So that's why Rupa Goswami, Rupa Goswami himself is Manjari. He can write books on Vidagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav, and some other books on Rasa Tattva. But for the mercifully, he rendered this book, he took this endeavor of writing Upadesamrita for fallen souls like us, so that we can also try to become pure devotee and try to relish this Vidagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav. The devotees, the Rupa Goswami and other Goswamis, they are so merciful. Such as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanyaya, and so his devotees are also so much merciful that they have rendered this book so that we may control we may become Goswamis and we become pure devotees of the Lord, and then we will be able to relish these books. So we are really so much indebted to, first of all, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, that he has taken so much effort to translate this Upadesamrita, which was in Sanskrit, and he has given the translations and so many purports, big purports to each and every verse of this book. There are 11 verses. Every verse, Prabhupada has written so big purpose, because this is very important. Prabhupada told, distributing Bhagavad Gita, so much of it, so much vigor. You distribute nectar of instruction like that, like Bhagavad Gita. Upadesamrita will give the preliminary instructions to neophyte devotees. It's the guidebook. It will give it will introduce everyone how to get introduced about this Krishna consciousness. So that's why we are very much grateful to Srila Prabhupada and Rupa Goswami that the devotees are They are so merciful that they have given this instructions to us so that we can become elevated in Krishna consciousness. And at last, Prabhupada writes, if one follows these instructions very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. So our goal of life, our goal of studying NOI is what? That we may become pure devotees and that we may become part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. And the means to achieve this goal is that we have to follow the instructions given in the books of Goswamis. That's the means to achieve that goal. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada signed in and then he completed this preface September 20, 1975, Vishwarup Mahotsav, Krishna Balram Mandir, Raman Reti, Vrindavan, India. So I would like to conclude here. In the next class, we will see text 1. Okay. The very first verse, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. This verse we will see. This is also very important verse and very important verse actually. So I have divided whole of the purport in different sections, and it will be like very good study of Prabhupada's purport. So it's not that we are just reading Prabhupada's purport like that, but we are studying actually. Prabhupada told, don't just read my books, you study that. Not just reading, okay, done. We have to discuss. So that's the purpose of this this group, this Reading Sanga, this studying Sanga, that we are studying each and every line of Prabhupada's purport, which he has given to these verses. That's the intention. That's the initiative my humble self has taken. So that's what Krishna also tells, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayantah Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Tramanti. The devotees, they talk about me. They Bodhayantah Parasparam. They discuss with each other. And in this way, they are Ramanti. They are experiencing happiness. Bodhayantah Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam. They are discussing, they are talking about me. Mam Nityam, always. We have to always think about Krishna. We have to always discuss about Lord Krishna. Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti. In this way, their hearts are getting satisfied. Their minds are getting satisfied. So that's why we all should read Prabhupada's books, because through the instructions of Prabhupada, which he has given, with that only we can understand the intention of Rupa Goswami. That's the process. In order to understand the mission, in order to understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to understand the purpose of Prabhupada, and then only we can understand the mood of Rupa Goswami, and in that only we can understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So I would like to conclude here. If anyone has any questions, they can ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, when the next class will be and what will be the continuation, means what topic will be covered in the next class? Because today onwards I only joined as a late now. Today is my first class.
Yes. Yes. So in the next class, we will discuss text 1. Okay. The text 1 of Upadesamrita. This Upadesamrita consists of 11 verses. Rupa Goswami has written this Upadesamrita book, and he has given 11 verses. Okay. So we will, first of all, we will read the verse. Okay. And then we'll get into the translation, and we'll understand the purport of Prabhupada. Okay. So we will in the next class we will see, we will study the first verse of Upadesamrita.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Yes, Sumati Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji. There are some people in my house. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Yes. Kant Krishna. Prabhu. You have any question?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I'm okay.
Okay, so we'll conclude here by chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dharma Pranam.
Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.